From the beginning, Satan has been attacking the male and female relationship as a way of rebelling against God. Likewise, Satan wants to keep many men single who are actually called to marriage because marriage is designed to bring glory to God. And that's Satan's goal, is to decrease the amount of glory God is receiving in the human life. Now, Satan can't make you do anything. He works through lies. That's how he gets us to fall into his traps. Therefore, here are 5 lies that Satan is using nowadays to keep many men single who are actually designed to thrive in marriage. Lie number 1: what you see online about women is the true majority of women, not just sensational content to keep you watching. Here's just a few of the reasons many men these days say that it's better to remain single rather than try to get married. Women just want your money. Women will marry you, divorce you, and then take your kids. Women only want men who are 6 feet tall and have 6-pack abs and make at least a 6-figure income. Feminism has ruined all women. There are no traditional women left. On and on it goes. There are countless other reasons men these days are saying that there are just no good women left. It's just better for men to remain single. Now, where are men actually getting these ideas? Some men have a few bad experiences, maybe a lot of bad experiences, but those experiences they have in real life actually just make the algorithms more effective because they are being susceptible to the algorithm showing them what they already believe is true. Algorithms, meaning the strategies that online platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or X and Facebook and all the classics, anything that you consume content on, it all is meant to keep you watching more. And the algorithms are trained to figure out what it is you already believe, what it is you like watching. Don't believe me? Well, all you have to do is look at both sides of the political spectrum and accept and look at they're both addicted to their phones. They're both on the same platforms pretty much. And extreme liberals are getting sent all this content that reinforces what they already believe. They're getting liberal commentators highlighting the craziest conservatives they can find and then bashing those people. And likewise, the conservative commentators are finding the craziest liberals you can imagine and highlighting that. And both of the sides are getting sent the content that they like. The social media platforms don't care what you watch. All they care is that you keep watching. And Satan doesn't care what you're watching either, so long as it's not the truth and it keeps you in the wrong mindset that prevents you from glorifying God. He loves when we get caught up in our echo chambers, just reinforcing the things we're prone to believe anyway. So if you're a man who's caught up in the red pill, MAGTOW, social media content cycle, I encourage you to take a fast and just block like all social media for a little bit and go out into the real world and talk to real people and see if it's been skewed. Like the odds of you actually meeting people like are being talked about online are actually very slim. Are they out there? Yes. But the majority of people you meet are not this crazy, sensational, wild thing that you're seeing online that's just over the top. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to find a godly woman. I'm not saying that they're just all over the place and you just gotta go out into the real world and you're gonna bump into one. I'm just saying that your pessimism about women, that there are 0 godly women out there, is pretty much solidifying that you are the guy who's never going to meet one because you have a negative attitude, and that's just not going to work. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir here because, again, this content's probably just catering towards the people who are already kind of are agreeing with what I'm saying. So if you're a MAGTOW red pill kind of guy and you're like entrenched in that, I encourage you to just watch a different channel. I'm really not here for you. I'm not a place for you to come and complain about women. I don't care. Like, I don't care about your complaints. I'm really here for the men who want solutions, not men who think there's no hope and just want to play still wine with other men. 2 Timothy 4, 3-5. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. As for you, always be sober-minded, endure suffering, do the work of an evangelist, fulfill your ministry. Lie number 2, all women are toxic and have unrealistic expectations, and there's just no traditional women left. Now, that might seem like a repeat from point 1, but I'm going to take this to a different angle. Point 1 was really about how Satan is deceiving the men. It's saying, hey, this trap that you're caught in on the social media cycle, just getting brainwashed with the echo chamber of countless stories that are just extreme that you've never actually experienced in your life, or maybe just a few times. That's going to brainwash you. But now let's take a moment and pause and say, why is generalizing a bad idea anyway? When it comes to a Christian man looking for a godly woman, the phrase women these days is an absolute waste of time. Who cares what women these days are like? You don't need millions of women following Jesus. You just need to meet one. You're not going to marry women these days. You're going to marry an individual woman. She's going to have a real name, a real family background, a real worldview. She has her own thoughts and opinions. What you see online doesn't matter. Galatians 6:4, but let each one test his own work, and then his reason to boast will be in himself alone and not in his neighbor. You don't want to be like all the worldly complainers out there who aren't taking personal responsibility for what is in their control, and they're just blaming their lives and what they don't like on everyone but themselves. The fact is, yes, the majority of people in the world are living a sinful lifestyle. But guess what? That's the norm for a true Christian. There's always going to be less of us. Trust me, there are godly women out there just like there are true godly men out there. But it actually takes time and energy and effort to go out and meet these people. And sitting around complaining and being negative and thinking all the women are toxic is not a great strategy on attracting a beautiful Christian woman. Lie number 3, if she's not super hot like all the porn stars I've been watching since I was 13, then she's not my future wife. I think so many men have such a negative view of women these days is because their minds have been warped by pornography. Not only does pornography cause men to objectify women, I think that's the common argument of why it's bad, one of the reasons it's bad, but I want you to consider something you may have not realized before. When you're spending your virtual time, so to speak, with very physically attractive women who are super immoral and they're selling their bodies to men, millions of men, and they're having sex with random guys, and you're watching this pornographic stuff, well, you're subconsciously starting to believe that attractive women have this type of character. So it's really a lose-lose. Not only are you getting addicted to only being able to be attracted to these unrealistic expectations of a woman looking a certain way. That's one bad thing. But you're also cutting yourself off and saying, oh, all attractive women and all women really are totally immoral and crazy and are going to sell their bodies and will just do whatever they can to be with the hottest, most richest guy possible. So it's really a lose-lose. You're getting addicted to this idea visually, and you're spending your time with these immoral women, and thus you're naturally going to think this is how women are, like porn stars, having terrible character. And that's just not true of many women out there. Lie number 4, I don't make enough money to get married. I think a lot of guys have fallen into this lie because they go to one of two extremes. So going back to the online whiny complaints of a lot of guys, they say, well, women are just gold diggers. And so for the average guy who's maybe not like full red pill, full macked out, he's listening to this stuff and he's like, yeah, women really do like a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. I can't buy a house. I can't buy her a nice car. I can't pay for every date. So therefore I must not be good enough for the type of women out there. And I'll just say I can't get married. Now, that's kind of like the demonizing, like, women are just gold diggers. There's another type of guy, the other extreme, where he idolizes women so much where he thinks that, well, a godly woman deserves more than I can give her. She deserves to have a nice house, to have a lavish lifestyle, for me to be able to pay for everything. That's what she deserves. That's what I want to give her. And I just can't do that right now, so it must mean that I can't get married. So big picture, both of these extremes are unhealthy. You don't need to demonize women. You don't need to idolize women. The fact is, if you're a man who has a job, you have a good work ethic, you don't need millions, you don't need a bunch of money, you just need to be able to pay your bills. There's no reason why a mature, responsible man can't partner with a mature, responsible woman, combine their finances in marriage, and do life together. And lie number 5, it's better for all men to be single. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking because I get this comment a lot. Mark, Paul clearly says in 1 Corinthians 7 that it's better to be single than it is to be married. Now, Paul does say that, but in context, Paul is not saying that it's better for every man to be single rather than married. If you read the whole chapter, he actually also makes an argument for why it's better for most men to actually get married. It's true, God does call a select few to actually pursue a life of singleness, but the vast majority of men should not be intentionally trying to be single. Now, that's a big topic, and I actually talk about it in this video right here, where I go over 7 reasons most men should not pursue a life of singleness. So if you want more on that, this video will really help. I'm Mark from ApplyGodsWord.com. Hope this was helpful, guys. Until next time, God bless.